This video is brought to you by the Intel Core i5-4670K unlocked processor. Add an Intel 520 series SSD to your Haswell system for unbelievable overall performance.
The Omni is the first natural interface for movement in virtual reality. And now we have the Oculus Rift, we have the Razer Hydra, great devices that really augment the virtual reality experience. But the next step is, how do you walk around in that virtual world? How do you physically move in a natural way beyond just sitting down and using a keyboard and mouse? That's why we developed the Omni. It's an interface that allows you to walk and move freely and naturally in your favorite game. Well, I'm a VR enthusiast and I was struggling with that question. How do you move around in VR? And the problem of locomotion, which is how do you walk in a confined space, that's been a problem for the last 20 years. People have been trying to build treadmills that are 360 degrees, an omnidirectional treadmill, but nobody's been able to build one that has been affordable to consumers or fits in the living room. There's huge devices out there in academic settings, but nothing for the consumer, and that's what I wanted to change. I wanted to have a device that I could use in my living room to just walk around in a virtual world and just get immersed much more beyond sitting down. The Omni recognizes walking, running, but also jumping, crouching, strafing, so our software is set up to recognize basically any move you'd like to do in a game. And that's what creates the freedom and the natural feeling of movement in the game. When you buy the Omni, you get the platform. It comes with a safety belt as well as with a pair of specialized shoes. It also comes with our integrated tracking hardware and software. Right now in the demo we're using the Kinect, but we're working on an integrated solution with accelerometers so that you don't need a Kinect. So that whole package, that's what you get when you buy the Omni. I have a mechanical engineering background. I'm from Belgium originally, came to the States for work, love the States, never left. I decided to stay here, quit my job, and then I went to business school, and then I worked as an investment banker of all professions for a couple of years. But I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I always liked virtual reality and gaming, so this is what I've always wanted to do. So when the time was there and I started focusing on developing the Omni, at some point to me it makes sense to quit my job, do this full time. And I jumped into it. I'm going for it. I think it's a great device, and this is what I wanted to do. I want to bring as many Omnis as possible to VR enthusiasts, gaming enthusiasts, and so forth. It's great that I'm able to do this, and I'm enjoying it. I think the more people start using the Rift and start experimenting and experiencing virtual reality, people will realize that, okay, the Rift is great, it's a great device. But sitting down and having to use a gamepad or a keyboard, it breaks the immersion. If you want a true virtual reality experience, you start realizing, well, I want to move naturally, I want to move freely, I want to move around in the virtual game, in my favorite game. And that's why you need the Omni, to have that extra level of immersion, to be freely immersed in the virtual world and walk around. And I think the need for that and the desire for that, that is what will drive people to, buying an Omni. And to the extent, even in the future, I think virtual reality will be the next big thing, if it's not already getting there right now. And people will need a virtual reality setup, the Rift, the Omni, some controller, whether it's the Hydra or a gun. So that whole virtual reality setup, I think, will have a place in many living rooms or game rooms. Yeah, the virtual reality community has been great. Has been very instrumental in driving some of the recent innovations in virtual reality, such as the Rift, the Hydra. The community is terrific, and our community, is also giving me a lot of feedback, a lot of suggestions. Right now, with our Kickstarter campaign, we hope to get the help from the community to get funding and also get more thoughts and inputs to really get the Omni through the manufacturing stage. We are ready, our designs are ready, we're ready to hit the button, but we need to start tooling engineering, and start get the Omni manufactured. And that's why we'd like to get the help from the community and start this Kickstarter campaign. I want to thank the community for supporting me and my team. It's been a great help in the last couple of months. And I want to bring the Omni to as many people as possible. So I think with the help of the community, I think we can make this happen.